Hello everybody and welcome back to Learning the Acoustic Guitar Part 9. And I'm just going to show you in this episode, I'm going to teach you that exercise and just talk about how I practice and how I think anyone should practice. And we're going to talk about dexterity and alternate picking in this episode. The first thing I just wanted to say a little bit about music theory. If you're using I've said in this series before, like, you should practice with a metronome, but I didn't show you an explicit exercise, and that's what I wanted to focus on here. So if you're using a metronome, if you're using a digital one, you just plug in beats per minute. That's just how many it sets the tempo of the song. And if you're using a mechanical one, you just slide a little metal weight up and down a pendulum. The lower it is, the faster it goes, the faster the tempo is. The higher the weight is, the slower the tempo is. So set it to whatever's comfortable for you, but to improve your mechanical ability, you're just going to want to slowly increase the tempo of any exercise you're practicing. But so, what I was just playing for you there was just a transition from a minor key to a Dorian mode, and I just really like the exercise to build alternate picking. So I'm just going to walk you through that now. What we're going to do is we're going to play, I'm going to show you the pattern first, and then I'll talk you through the strumming. So we're going to play the first finger on the first fret of the low E string. Then we're going to play the third and the fourth frets. And then we're going to do the same thing on the second or the A string. Play two more notes after we played the first six. Then you're going to play the third fret with the ring finger again, and then you're going to slide up. You're going to change. This is when you change the key. On the A string, you're taking your first finger to that third fret, and now you're going to play the third fret, fourth fret, and sixth fret. And then you're going to play the same thing on the low E string again. And now I'm talking you through the strumming. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, transition to the A string with an upstroke. Strum, sorry. Oops. Now you can work your way all the way down the fretboard. And we'll turn on our metronome. And the way that I like to build dexterity is start with something that I can play and play it again as perfectly as I can practice it. And then slowly build the tempo up and really kind of get out of a comfortable tempo and just really try to push the pattern or push the chord progression or the note progression or whatever I'm playing to a point where it's really uncomfortable. And I think that's where you sit down and you really practice your technical capacity for 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, practicing the guitar 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, you will genuinely improve. But you actually have to know how to practice. And so you start with a slow tempo, and then you just slowly increase it to a point where it's just uncomfortable. And so I'm just going to I'll play through the whole run, and then I'll do it myself. And again, just start, all right? It's going to be extremely natural. You're going to want to tap your foot, bob your head, but when you're really getting going, make sure the strumming, when you're learning the strumming, slow it down to make sure you hit everything perfectly. Once you learn it, it'll be pretty intuitive. or a practice session where you've nailed down that pattern, and when I just slid back up and just kind of improv'd, that's how I build my own melodies. Once you build the technical capacity and the dexterity to play the instrument, practicing with a metronome, you literally have to build the physical capacity to do a new transition or to play a new chord or just to learn your beginning chords. So that's like I said, that's why you want to practice with the metronome. And you can, if this is F minor, this is the minor pad or the minor notes. And then when you slide that first finger up, now you're in the Dorian mode of whatever fret you're on. So E, F, G, Dorian mode of G. Here's the Dorian mode of G. And so before we talked about changing keys and it makes it sound interesting, key is going to preserve your resonance. A well-fretted note is going to preserve the integrity of the sound of the note. And then transitioning with a given tempo or changing the tempo, changing the rhythm, that's what's going, or changing the key is going to get you the new flavor of sounds. And now let's speed it up real fast and see what I sound like. That was at, I don't know, 126 beats per minute, I think. Let's bump this up to like 184. Sloppy as anything can be, but that's what you want to do. Play an easy tempo that you can definitely hit all the notes through, but then push it towards the end. And now more just talking about other parts of practicing. I always do, if you watch my lessons on hammer-ons and pull-offs, I always practice those within metronome. And you can pick any scale pattern, any lick that you like. But like I said, I just wanted to give you a concrete playthrough of an actual exercise to do, because in my other episodes I just say practice the metronome. But after you practice your metronome playing, then I think 15 to 30 minutes of diligent metronome exercise, 5 to 10 minutes of pushing the same exercise you were just playing, but pushing it at a faster tempo. And then turn off your metronome and just improvise. Play a song, write lyrics to your lick, and that's how you take you're building your dexterity to actually forming a melody. Yeah, and so again, I did practice that and make sure you slow it down so you can hear every note as clear as possible. And it sounds pretty cool. I mean, I think that's a nice little run you can learn. Thanks for watching part 9.